Let us begin with a prayer. Namaskar Mudra. Bow down to the sage Patanjali and let us all pray that we get the true meaning of the sutras. Yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena yoparkarotam pravaram muninam Patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi. We bow down to the sage Patanjali, who gave us yoga for the purification of chitta, Ayurveda for the purification of the body, and Sanskrit Vyakarana for the purification of speech. Okay, so now, in the last sutra, we had a discussion about what is the nature of the observed. There were two entities. One is what is observed, which belongs to Prakriti. And one is observer, which is the Purusha. In Sankhya philosophy, there are these two domains. One is the ever-changing material aspect of the existence, which can go very subtle, up to the tanmatras and even the mano, buddhi, chitta and ahankara. They also form the part of Prakriti only, correct? And then there is a Purusha, there is a Tattva, which is untouched by Prakriti, but is required to support the Prakriti. Like the sky is required to support the air, but we do not say that air is touching the sky. In the same way, Prakriti moves within Purusha, but we cannot say that Prakriti touches the Purusha. So in the last class, we had a discussion that Prakriti, from very gross of Pancha Mahabhuta to the very subtle, of the Mano, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara, it moves and it covers all the domains. And then we said, Drashta Drishi Matraha Shuddho api Pratyaya Anupashyayaha. So till now, Patanjali described the nature of the Prakriti. He also said that Prakriti is of the Rupa of Prakash, Sthiti and Kriya, and it is serving the purpose of Bhoga and Apvarga of the Purusha. And now he says that let me also describe some characteristics or qualities of the Purusha also. Now he says, Drashta Drishi Matraha, the power of power and the very nature of the Drashta is of awareness. So that is why the whole journey of yoga, the whole science of yoga is considered as the science of self-awareness. So Drishi Matraha, so it means that this is a very, very important quality, that the Purusha never sleeps. Purusha is ever awake, ever aware. It is a non-judgmental awareness, non-judgmental, choiceless awareness. This particular characteristic of our existence is what opens the doorway to Purusha. Okay? So this non-judgmental, choiceless awareness is something that human being have this unique quality to practice. Correct? So that is why we see Buddha, followed this path. In Vipassana, there is Pashyam, Drishta. There is act of seeing, non-judgmental. So all the domains of mindfulness, in the third wave psychotherapy, everything is based on mindfulness. Cultivating this non-judgmental, choiceless, directionless, centerless awareness. Non-judgmental, choiceless, directionless, centerless awareness. Just sitting, not particularly focusing on anything, open monitoring. Whatever that comes to my consciousness, I just want to become aware. I will not judge it. And slowly as I expand, I also, drop the periphery and drop the center. In Yoga Nidra, we practice this. Ultimately, at the end of the session, you are in a non-judgmental, choiceless, directionless, centerless awareness. That is Drishi Matra. That is the quality of Purusha. Awareness is so the more you cultivate that, the more freedom you get from the bondages or the laws of Prakriti, through which Prakriti is governing over the Purusha. All of us are combination of two things: Prakriti, Purusha. Matter, consciousness. Matter is bound by laws. When you sit here, you feel your presence only at this place. If you have to travel to US, you will have to take a flight and go to US. Correct? You do not have the freedom to instantly reach there. Similarly, you cannot go back and forth in time. Correct? But Purusha is free. What is the law that can bind a non-judgmental, directionless, centerless awareness? Gravity doesn't bind. Time doesn't bind. Space doesn't bind. So, drishta drishi matraha. We have to understand this. For us, most of the things that we experience are associated with Prakriti. We experience movement, we experience time, we experience space, we experience interaction in time and space, we experience feelings which come and go. But on the very surface that all these transactions are happening, in the sky, the clouds keep moving, the air keeps moving, but the very substance of the sky is non-judgmental, centerless, directionless awareness. So, taking a step back, whatever that is pulling your attention or drawing your attention, you just take a step back and become aware of its background on which it is moving, the background on which all this is happening. Okay? So, like if you are moving a vehicle, you become aware of the road. Road is there, vehicle is moving. Correct? In the same way, Purusha is there. Everything is moving on Purusha. Drishi matraha. This is number one characteristic. Number two is Shuddho api. Shuddho. Shuddho means nothing can touch it. The nature of the Purusha is such that the Purusha is untouched. निर्विकार बोला जाता है. शुद्ध का अर्थ बोला जाता है निर्विकार. Pure. So, what is the meaning of nirvikar or shuddha? Is that nothing can bring a change in its pristine nature. It's pristine, flawless. And then Patanjali becomes more practical, from the internal characteristic of Purusha, Patanjali then says, Pratyaya Anupashyaya. And also this Purusha as though appear as if the Purusha is seeing and becoming aware. Because still, when we are perceiving Purusha, we are perceiving it through the lens of Prakriti. Even when we become self-aware, we are becoming aware of that because of the tools of the Prakriti. No, the Chitta is, it belongs to Prakriti. And Chitta is reflecting the Purusha. In its essence, in its, as the Purusha is, even to become aware of the Purusha, we need Prakriti. And that is why the way we experience Purusha is in terms of a awareness, in which the Purusha appears as though the Purusha is the seer of everything. But in essence, Purusha is not, having a lens and looking at things. Purusha is Sat Chit Ananda, existence, awareness, bliss, ever in his own nature. Not perturbed by anything in the Prakriti, not even interested in looking into Prakriti. But because we reflect pratyaya anupashyaya, so appearing to see or to behold the Prakriti. But in the real essence, Purusha is not doing that. Tadarth eva drishyasya atma. Patanjali again and again, puts this emphasis. He says that the very meaning, the very purpose of the observed, whatever that the Purusha can see. So if you are able to touch the deepest layer of your existence, what is it that you can see? Can anybody tell me? If you touch the deepest possible layer of your existence, what are the things that you can see? What can you see?
This layer of existence is beyond sensory perception.
No. From that level, when you sit and you see, what all can you see?
The detachment to the world.
What you see, you say. If you sit at the deepest layer of your existence and you just sit and observe, non-judgment, what and all can you see? Okay. So one is you will see your body. You can see your body. Right now, if you close your eyes and just scan your body, you can see it. Okay, body you will see. What else will you see? Huh? You can see emptiness also. You will see a sense of emptiness there, darkness there. Not necessarily that you have to close your eyes and see. You can keep your eyes open and see also. What else can you see? You will see your silence. You will see a sense of bliss that is coming up. You will see calmness. You will see Panchamahabhutas around, Prakash, Kriya, Sthiti of the objects, and the same thing happening within you. But you're touching the deepest layer of your existence. What else can you see? Deepest possible layer of your existence. Did we miss anything? That we see, but you have not told yet. What are other subtle aspects that you can see? So you can even see your I functioning, your ahankara you can see. What else? You can see the memories that are there. You can see your own biases.
See that transition from, like, when we are remaining silent, some thoughts we'll get aware of thoughts, why these thoughts are coming, from what this thought they are arising.
So we can see the very origin of the thought. One thought leads to another thought, and the whole journey of the thought can be seen. So from the Pancha Mahabhutas that we see around, from the Pancha Mahabhutas that are there in the body, Pancha Pranas that function, Pancha Jnanendriyas, Pancha Karmendriyas, and the Indriyas when they touch the object and the sensation they generate, and then the feelings that come up in the Manas, the memories that come up in the Chitta, the very functioning of the Ahankara, everything is Drishya. Everything is Drishya. Nothing is Drishta here. So he says, Tadartha eva Drishyasya Atma. The very meaning, the very purpose of whatever that is Drishya for you, the very purpose and meaning of the Drishya is to serve the Purusha. Now, how does the Drishya serve the Purusha? So imagine you are the boss of a house, and you have one very obedient servant. Very obedient servant. The only purpose that the servant has is to serve you very honestly, very sincerely, without any doubt. Okay? So, how does the servant serve you? With what attitude does the servant look at you? Servant will always be aware, his ears will always be on. What is the boss saying? Also, he will look at the expressions of the boss, where he looks, what he wants. If he gives something, how did the boss react? He will promptly be looking at it. And if the boss asks something, he will get into the act of doing it. Correct? Now, imagine that the boss tells the student, make an omelette for me. Student goes and starts making it. And in between, boss says, no, stop, make gajar ka halwa. So he drops omelette, starts making gajar ka halwa. Before he completes, boss says, no, wait, you make orange juice. Then he starts peeling orange. Then now, when this happens, will the boss get what he wants? But how it would appear that the servant is not obedient. And the boss will also complain, I never get what I want in life. So in the same way, Prakriti, the Drishya, is very sensitive to any desire, any kind of intention that comes in the depth of your existence. The more deeper it comes, the more sensitive is the Prakriti to respond to it. So you have to understand the thing that Prakriti is not only serving you by giving the objects in terms of Pancha Mahabhutas, it is also serving you in your inner world by giving you answers that you seek, by giving you insights that you look for. You just ask a question with lot of clarity and sit. Prakriti has to reveal that secret to you. It's obedience. So the whole purpose of Prakriti, in that sense, is, so if a servant brings whatever I want, the servant is in a way has become a reflection of me. Can I say that? If the servant is bringing whatever is there going on in my heart, servant is reflecting me. If servant is confused, it is me. It means that inside I am confused. So that me as I am is being reflected by whatever that is around me. Who you are as a Purusha right now, is manifested in the form of what are the choices that you have made in your life, what are the people that you are around, what are the things that you look forward to, what are the things that you avoid. Everything is reflection of who you are. Because the servant is completely neutral. Servant says, I have no existence. Boss, you tell. If you ask servant, no, you decide what you want to make food today. You decide. Sir, you have to tell me. Always menu is on your side. I will make. I am a very wonderful cook. You have to order. I don't have any power of ordering. So we keep on ordering. From the time that we get up in the morning till we sleep, we keep on ordering. And the drishya keeps on giving it to us. You decide what to think. And then the loop of thought, the direction in which you want it to go. Okay? So even if it appears that the thoughts are randomly coming, deep down, they are the thoughts you want. So in this way, we experience. Now, this servant is a special servant. This servant is doing one more purpose. Till now, the servant that I described is a servant which is ready for your order. Correct? So, for your bhoga. Jo bhi, whatever your senses want, whatever bhoga you want, the servant is ready to give. Whatever question you have, the servant is ready to answer. Correct? But this servant does one more thing, which is a special characteristic of this servant, which we do not see in the material servant. That is, see, material servant, if the servant is like a robo, correct? If the servant is like a robo, the whatever data you feed, the robo will only do that much. Correct? But this servant is a conscious servant. So this servant wants the boss to be the boss. And the boss gets these episodes of dissociative episodes. Boss gets dissociative episodes. Imagine that there is this boss, he has a big 5,000 crore property, and there is one manager, one servant who just listens to him. He brings whatever the boss wants. And in between, boss gets into the dissociative identity disorder. And what the boss does is, he orders many things, and he first makes the servant confused. The servant is not able to bring one thing what the boss wants. And then when the boss doesn't get it, the boss starts catching feet of the servant and praying, please, no, protect me, give me what I want. So the boss becomes the servant of the servant. He gets into dissociative identity disorder. So imagine if there is a boss, he has a servant, very obedient servant, and this boss is all the time catching the feet of the servant. वो हमेशा उसके पैरों में वो मांगता रहता है, हाथ जोड़ता रहता है ऐसा. So how do you think the servant should react to that? What should the servant do? He wants to fulfill boss's desire, But he also can't take the boss behaving like this on his own feet, because he's very obedient. Imagine Rama on the feet of Hanumana. Hanumana won't like it.
We should remind him that he's the boss.
Hmm. Hmm? So, so the servant can't take it. Hmm? So then the servant says, if he asks me like a servant and I keep giving him, then his servant bhava will grow more. Then he will start firmly believing that he is a servant only. So whenever the boss asks like a servant, the servant says, I can't give you. You have to ask like a boss. If you beg, because if I give, it is a disrespect to you only. With that attitude, if you ask, and if I give, so this kind of, because the servant is so obedient and so loving to the boss, can't take him in that kind of a position. Imagine boss become drunkard and he is just falling here and there and he's not able to realize his own potential. So then the servant has this another purpose of reminding the boss, boss, please don't do it. I want to give you what you want, but I can't give you in this state. Please, boss. Then the boss doesn't listen. Doesn't listen at all. He's drunk so much, he's just not realizing. Then out of love, intense love, and the sincere service attitude, sometimes servant has to slap his boss hard. Awake! So all these sufferings that we get are our servant telling us, please don't get into a rut like this. No other choice left for me. I am here to serve you. This is a complex relationship of boss and his servant that we are going through, the Purusha and Prakriti. Everything that is drishya, from the matter to the body to the prana to your own ahankara, chitta, bhavas, feelings, everything is under the control of one manager, which is Prakriti. And they are serving only one purpose. There is no other purpose. Don't think this Prakriti is for any other time pass. ಬೇರೆ ಏನು purpose ಇಲ್ಲ. Only for this. Just look around. The shirt that you are wearing, the things that you have around, your own desires, you wanted. And whenever you were half here, half there, you didn't get it. Or whenever you utterly became a beggar, you didn't get it. Otherwise, with clarity, with a prasanna chitta, like a boss, yes, please get it right on your feet. Whenever you are joyful, whenever you were just relaxed within yourself and you did any task, easy. Whenever you are fearful, what is going to happen? You are the boss, why you should? Then, so tadarth eva drishyasya atma. Now, if the purpose of the Prakriti is served, say for example, in his journey of boss and servant, boss is able to reach a state where boss has realized that he is the boss and he has completely become aware of it. And in his completeness, he feels utterly satisfied, and reaches a state where he is in deep meditation. Boss is meditating, satisfied within himself. For months and years together, he did not have any desire. So the servant had no purpose. Servant is just waiting. Boss is into himself. And the other purpose of the servant was to make boss realize that he is the boss. Boss has already realized this. So servant is not being used. So slowly, servant is not serving any purpose. Whatever is drishya is not serving any purpose. So what will happen to this drishya over a period of time? If the boss has reached Kaivalya, what will happen to the drishya? It was serving only this purpose, nothing else. So if the purpose of that is done, what will happen to the drishya? The body, the pancha mahabhuta that you see, the feeling, the mano, buddhi, chitta, what will happen to them? What do you think? If the purpose is done, what will happen to the drishya?
Masters usually leave the body.
So what will happen to the drishya? Once somebody reaches a state of kaivalya, drishya has done its purpose. Kritartham means purpose done. Prati. So, huh? It will degenerate. So now imagine that me sitting here, just I sit here and I reach Kaivalya Sthiti. Now the Pancha Mahabhutas around me, the body, Pancha Prana, Pancha Jnanendriyas, Karmendriyas, Mano, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara, everything in the Prakriti, I have no purpose with them. They have served their purpose of making me realize who am I. So you mean to say slowly my body will start disappearing?
For you, it is not there, but for others, it appears.
He's saying for me, it will not be there. For others, it will be there.
Means it is of no importance.
For me, it will not serve any purpose. My own tools, they will be kept aside. Everything kept aside.
It's serving a purpose, right?
But when I open my eyes, what will I see? When the body opens the eye, what will I see? What will I see? For me, purpose is done. What will I see? So Patanjali is very clear. Kritartham prati nashtam. So one whose purpose has been accomplished, towards that it is nashtam. Towards that Prakriti is not there. But still it is anashtam. But still it is not destroyed. Tad anya sadharanatvat. Because there are sadharan people like you also around me, no? For you, Prakriti cannot be Prakriti cannot be destroyed. So, because the Prakriti, the interface on which all the Purushas are playing, it is one. So even if one finishes the game and goes out, the game continues for others. Okay? It is not that the whole platform of the game will get completely vanished. So when Buddha reaches Nirvana, it is for Buddha. Now Buddha's perception is Buddha's perception. If he opens his eyes, he closes his eyes, there is no difference for him. What he sees, we can't even imagine. Okay? But there is nothing for him. There is only his Atma Tattva. He only sees himself. He only feels himself. There is nothing else. There is no other. We can't imagine that. When you cannot see any other, you, me, me, me. But for others, he, she, they, we, Buddha, I, everything will be there, all things. So Patanjali is very smart. Patanjali very clearly says, for Buddha, it is nashta. I will not be able to see anything apart from me. But for others, it is anashtam. So when I exist in such a way that I exist in such a way that I see only me. Then how do I function? How do I walk on this earth? What do I do? What I do? There is no purpose for me. Reach Kaivalya. How do I function? Do I just remain seated at one place?
You can go anywhere with your siddhis.
With your?
With your siddhis.
But it is not serving any purpose. I have no ichha left, no desire left. No, I'm just satisfied within me.
Like you keep doing the same things to guide others.
But that also means that I recognize Prakriti. There is no other. It is me, only me. So texts describe that this way, many of the sages, they just merge in themselves and they slowly over a period of time, the body is also left. They are within themselves. So they either get into a kind of a balya bhava, like they appear like a child, anything they can do, anything this is, or they appear like a madman, either a child or a madman. So you can't comprehend their, then they see. And uh, when the sun shines, we may feel or see as if sun is rising for us and setting for us. The sun cares for us. Sun loves us and sustains the whole life. We bow down to the sun also. But for the sun is within himself. So such Purusha have nothing of themselves. People around them only use them the way they want. Like if the sun is there, I can open my window, I can hold a bask in the sun, I can close my window. Doesn't matter for the sun. So they stop living for themselves. So Lao Tzu, a wonderful Chinese master, he says that the saint, has no heart for himself. That is why he uses others' hearts to live in this life. Okay, somebody is crying, just whatever. So his own nothing. So like these are the Avdhutas, Sai Baba. All these are the people, they have no nothing. They are there. But just people around them, they take it and they also are okay. The way they behave, the way they deal with them, it is okay for them. Any way is okay for them. That is their Atma Swarupa. It is their, who is there? They are the boss. So nobody can answer that. Okay, so when Buddha was sitting, Buddha was ready. Done. I am only there, nothing else is there. I am clear. Okay, I'm going. Then literally Indra came down. Please say something. You're so silent. Say something, please. We are the devas. We are waiting from. We are waiting to hear something from you, because the insights that you have got, not even Brahma can tell us. Indra, they prayed, prayed, prayed. Then Buddha did not want to utter a single word. I am done, I am done. They prayed. So he told. Then after that, because of that prayer, he started walking. Shankaracharya was in that kind of a state. So then in a way, they are their own master. Sun shines. Sun wants to shine. Sun shines. Who can comment? So it is a state of ultimate freedom. In flashes, moments like this, they can create universes. Not Earth, universes. That is the extent when the Maya dissolves. So Swa Swami Shaktayoho Swarupop Upalabdhi Hetuhu Samyogaha. Swa is my servant. Swami is the boss. Shaktayoho, powers. There is a power that servant has. There is a power that Swami has. Power or qualities or nature. Correct, no? Swarupopupladhi hetuhu. Own nature recognition is the cause of you. Why the servant and the Swamis have come together? The purpose itself is that the Swami should be able to recognize himself. So in this body, Prakriti and Purusha have come together. Matter and consciousness have come together. So the very purpose of these two forces coming together is also because ultimately Prakriti serves as a mirror. Prakriti is nothing but mirror. Whatever you experience is what you are. Whatever nature brings to you is what you are. Your confusions, your sufferings, your joys, everything, whatever that is brought to you deep inside you, that is you. What is you? Prakriti is only reflecting it back to you. Prakriti can reflect you in terms of your bhogas. Prakriti can reflect to you in terms of who you really are. Both dimensions, continuously things around you keep reflecting. When it gives you what you want, it is reflecting you as your bhogas. When it doesn't give you what you want, it is reflecting you as you are, because it wants you to realize yourself. So in this way, these two forces have come together. Tasya hetuhu avidya. And how these two things are sticking together? How there is a confusion that what is me, what is not, that confusion of Purusha and Prakriti. The fundamental force behind that is avidya. So this is a force. This is a force. Please, people have this kind of idea that, yeah, Maya is like a dream, avidya is like a dream, it is nothing, but Patanjali is clear. Patanjali says that no, it is a force in itself. Okay? Tasya hetuhu avidya. What hetu? Hetu of what? Reason of what? Of that samyoga, of that union. So Swa and Swami Shakti, when they came together for Swarupa Uplabdhi only. But as this Sanyoga was created, what was the first glue? What was the first glue to stick the Purusha to the Prakriti? It is avidya. Okay? And what is avidya? Patanjali earlier in the second chapter has described. Once again, let us contemplate on this. a fundamental cognitive bias of considering what is impermanent as permanent. When I buy a laptop, I think till the moment I die, it is going to be with me. But it is not true. But when I buy it for eternity. So anitya as nitya, ashuchi as shuchi. No, things fundamentally are filled with vikaras. Ashuchi doesn't literally mean that it is filth. The Shuddha or Shuchi, when you look at it in Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, it means the ability to remain pristine, untouched, unchanged, not getting perverted or distorted. So we think that things will not change. When we get into relationship, we think we are going to be there for next seven janmas or beyond that. 100 साल पहले मुझे तुमसे प्यार था, आज भी है और कल भी रहे. 100 साल पहले. So we think things are till eternity. And when we get into love, there is nobody more pure than you. There is nobody more pristine than you. So यार में खुदा दिखता है. पर क्या होता है, बाद में यार बदल जाता है. सो शुद्ध नहीं है ना, शुद्ध अशुद्ध, उसमें विकार आ जाता है, परवर्ट हो जाता है. You get into love marriage, then you separate, divorce. So शुद्ध, जो अशुद्ध है वो शुद्ध दिखाई. One which is not pristine appears as pristine, nirvikar. Then one which actually is a source of dukkha appears that it is going to give me eternal sukha. And one which is not the part of me appears as part of me. So a fundamental cognitive error which manifests in the form of this sentence. What sentence? What sentence? The sentence is, this is pristine, pure, and is a part of me and is going to give me lasting happiness forever. So whenever we put this kind of thinking process on any object, any person, any place, any phenomena, we are into avidya. We are into. So this kind of a deep cognitive error is the glue which is making the Purusha bind to the Prakriti. So if you ask this question to anything that you come across, is it really going to give me happiness forever? And when you ask this question, you realize, no, it may change. Then suddenly you are in Purusha. You are not deluded by the Prakriti. Now, Shiva Sutra is another text that describes the very nature of Maya, very nature how this force works, this avidya works and causes the samyoga. How does it manifest? So the Shiva Sutra says, like there are Panchakosha model, you are aware of Panchakosha model? Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanmaya, Anandamaya koshas. So I am restricted from Anandamaya to Annamaya. Am I getting restricted or I am getting liberated? From Anandamaya to Annamaya, I am getting restricted or liberated? restricted. So for this restriction to happen, there should be some force, no? When you sit here, you close your eyes. Okay? Everybody close eyes. Now, feel and ask yourself where you are. Where am I? And try to feel your existence as far, as expanded as you can. Where am I? Try to expand yourself as much as you can and feel your existence. Maximum, you may be able to feel yourself within and a few feet around the body. You may not be able to feel your existence or energy more beyond it. This is because of the force of the Maya called as Niyati, which doesn't allow you to feel that you are everywhere. It is denoted by the sound Va. Next, feel when you are. It means in time, in which time you are. You are able to feel yourself existing only on this particular day, at this particular time of the day, here. So you are existing at 10:50 a.m. here, now, only. You do not feel your existence that was there a moment before and that is going to be there a moment later, because the concept of time is created by another force of the Maya known as Kala, denoted by the sound Dha. Now let us do a brief meditation. Just imagine that all the clocks on this planet stop. All the watches in this planet have stopped. Now all the movements of the matter on this planet has stopped. The electrons have simply stopped rotating around the nucleus. All the movements of matter has paused just for this moment. Next, the thoughts have stopped moving. The feelings have stopped moving. Now the earth has stopped rotating on her axis. Now all the planets, including Earth, have stopped rotating around the sun. All the heavenly bodies have just stopped in the universe. Now, one by one, whatever that has stopped, just remove them from the existence. Remove the heavenly bodies. Remove the sun. Remove the earth. Remove the body. Remove the mind. Now ask yourself, where is time? There is no time. Very slowly, let the mind come back. Let the body come back. Let the planet, the heavenly bodies, sun come back. Switch the button on. Let the earth rotate. Let the earth spin on her axis. Let the electrons spin. Release and relax. Let the body go on. Let the mind go on. Let all the objects, beings, matter continue functioning. Let the clock again start ticking, and slowly open your eye. So, time is not there. It's just the relative movement of one thing in respect to another. But the force of my kala makes us feel. Raga is another force of Maya, which makes me believe that I am incomplete without dash, dash, dash. But the truth is, we are complete as we are. But this force of Maya will tell you, no, you are not complete unless this happens or you get this or that. That is created by the sound jha. Then Vidya. Vidya is another force of Maya. That is why in Ishavasya Upanishad also we say that it says that people who get into avidya get into andhakara. People who get into vidya get into greater andhakara. Why? Because when you know something, when you say that I know, at the same time you are saying that apart from what I know, I also do not know. So whenever I say I know, I emphasize, within me that the background of it is that I do not know. So the fact is that you know everything. But Maya creates this impression by the sound ja that my knowledge is limited. And then the fifth sheath is kala, is denoted by the sound cha, which means that I start believing that I can do this and I cannot do this. So a limited potential of creativity. So I said, no, they can create universes. The power of creating universes. So limitation in creativity. If you are in Maya, you will have this firm belief that I can't do this. But those beyond Maya, there is nothing like that for them. Similarly, I do not know, or I know that impression will become more strong. I know will become more strong. And a feeling of emptiness, a feeling of a kind of thought that I am not complete or full if this is not there. And this is the force. Raga is the force. As soon as you get what you want, you say that now if I just get this one thing, after that I will be satisfied forever. After that I don't want anything else. But as soon as you get that, immediately, you see another thing coming up telling you, I am not complete. Now I want this. So always this thing will continue. This is a force of Maya. And then Kala is what is, it creates an impression of time and niyati, that it restricts you only in this space, not allowing you to expand. You may imagine that you're expanding, but you do not experience that because of these 5 forces of Maya. Okay? So it is through this fundamental avidya. This is avidya. It is through this that the Purusha of the Sanyoga of the Purusha with the Prakriti was done. And these forces of Prakriti or Maya keep acting on us. And when you reach Kaivalya, you overcome all these forces. You can create anything, you know everything, you exist everywhere, you are beyond time, and you are ever complete. Tad abhavat sanyog abhavo. When that avidya is removed, the samyoga is removed. Hanam tadrishehe kaivalyam. With their removal, then the knower sees liberation or establishes in his own nature. So this is Kaivalya Sthiti, beyond time. Omnipresence, omniscience, completeness, ever complete. Okay? So with this, we at 2.26, we stop our discussion today. Now, if students have any question, they can ask us. You can unmute and ask online or here on today's discussion. Any questions?
And in the starting, you are telling like uh, example like boss as Purusha, servant as Prakriti, and Prakriti is serving you whatever boss needs. Prakriti is reflecting whatever Purusha needs. So we also know that Purusha is pure. He does not have anything, completely pure. So, what is there to serve?
What a beautiful question. Hmm? So he says that Prakriti is serving the Purusha, correct? And uh, whatever desire that Purusha is getting, Prakriti is fulfilling that bhoga and apvarga. But Purusha in his own real nature is Shuddha, he is Nirvikara. So how is that Purusha is having desires? And that is what Prakriti is reflecting, no? So how is that? Very beautiful question. Hmm? So anyone would like to take it up?
Sir, I think he doesn't have the true nature that he's pure and all that. For that procedure only, we need to.
See, his question is Prakriti is serving the Purusha. Prakriti is reflecting Purusha. So Purusha is Nirvikaran. So actually, in another way, we can say it, if Purusha is untouched and Nirvikara, how is it that Purusha got mixed with Prakriti? It means Purusha is cannot be mixed, no, which is Shuddha, which is the nature itself is Shuddha. How that became Ashuddha? In the beginning, that only is the question, right? How the Shuddha nature of the Purusha became Ashuddha to desire. And then the Prakriti had to fulfill that. How did that happen? If Purusha is within me, Purusha should be Purusha, pristine, not desiring anything.
Maybe that some yoga has brought that cognitive dissonance. But how, like, Purusha, what it has nothing pure. What Prakriti will bring, whatever our thoughts, desires, our knowledge, whatever we are discussing, all comes in Prakriti only.
So he's saying that even the desire is not of Purusha, it is of Prakriti. So it means Prakriti is serving Prakriti. Then how Patanjali is saying that Tadartha eva drushyasya atma. बताओ यार. Any learned people online? Everybody got the question? You are clear with the question or you didn't understand the question? Question is clear? No. So he is saying that as a servant, Prakriti is there to serve the Purusha. Correct? But the nature of the Purusha is such that it is pure. And Prakriti is reflecting whatever Purusha is asking or serving the Purusha for his liberation. So the question is, even the desire that are coming, that we see that Prakriti is fulfilling that, they are coming in our own mind, our own chitta. Purusha is untouched. So how is it that Prakriti is serving the Purusha there? Does Purusha get a desire or he feels incomplete? That is not in his nature. So does it mean that Prakriti is serving Prakriti only? So Patanjali answers this actually. So this part of it here, pratyaya anupashyaha. This is the answer to that question. See, if there is only one sun and that sun is not concerned with what is going on here, but I have pieces of mirror, many pieces of mirror on earth. Each piece will reflect a sun. each mirror piece can reflect the full sun. Correct? So here that sun which is there in the sky, we are not concerned. That sun is not concerned at all. But when that sun is reflected on the chitta here, now that piece of glass I can hold and I can reflect that light of the sun on a tree. I can reflect it on your face. I can reflect that here, there. That light will show me the way. No, if I block, that light can be blocked, that light can go. So in this way, the pratyaya anupashyaha. In a way, you are correct. That is why yoga is chitta vritti nirodha. Ultimately, nothing happens to the Kaivalya Purusha there. Only the chitta destroys. Chitta gets withered away. So whatever is happening within the Prakriti only. Prakriti is playing with herself, reflecting the Purusha and dissolving herself. Purusha was always there, is always there. It's just the Prakriti plays with herself and gets vanished. But Purusha here is as a pratyaya anupashya, as a reflector. There is a role but no role. I know it is difficult to understand. I know I have not answered it fully, but I think I don't know the answers. Okay? Thank you. Let us end the session with a prayer. योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचा मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि। Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So in the second chapter so far, Patanjali has created the perfect background for sadhana. And then Patanjali describes the Saptadha Bhumihi Sapta Pradnya and then need for Viveka, for the Samyoga Abhava, and then gets into Ashtanga Yoga, Yam Niyam Asana. Okay? Fine. So let us discuss that next week. Bye.